Good morning to you all. It is definitely a day to be, well, appreciative of. Welcome to a brand new Monday. The opportunities are all over the place this brand new day. And of course, a new dawn. And for goodness, welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah. Yes, welcome to Wake Up Nigeria. It's a beautiful brand new week. And to be very honest, I mean, I'm still in the buzz from last week because, you know, last week was definitely Women's Day. In fact, it was the entire month. We're celebrating women this entire month. And yesterday was Mother's Day. So, I mean, it was amazing, amazing, amazing. But then again, we're here on your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, to start off this new week with new possibilities.
Absolutely. Mondays are usually super tough, and hopefully, hey, we're going to help you guys set it up very, very nice and flowy for today. It's going to be great. We've got so much coming your way. Glitters, smiles, everything, just to make sure that your morning is shining and just a little bit more bearable.
And remember, never make decisions based on fear. Now, make decisions based on the hopes and the possibilities. Make decisions based on what you want to happen and not what you don't want to happen.
Like a nice little nugget there. In any case, this is where you come to every single time to start your week. Start every single day this week. As we take you along, please make sure that you know where to find us. Thank you very much for finding us on DSTV channel 16, and of course on GOTV, we are channel 49, rather that's UHF. And for StarTimes, that's 121. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody.
Yes, of course. My name is Winfrey Agbelishe.
And my name is Mazino Appeal. Have you used the hashtag yet? Please use it. Wake Up Nigeria on TVC is the hashtag. You can find us across all the social media platforms. You want to tell them which ones?
Yes, of course. On Twitter, on X, on Facebook, on anyone, on TikTok as well. Yeah, of course. At TVC Entertainment _ or BTS at Wake Up Nigeria TVCE.
Thank you very much for reminding me, because I would not have remembered that one, but thank you. Check out our little shenanigans on there. So let's let you guys know what we have for you for a Monday.
It wouldn't be Wake Up Nigeria without a performance. Now we have Kazeem Olalekan Afiz, popularly known as Kona Kizin. He's definitely will be joining us and serenading us and setting the mood musically for the week.
We discuss building better relationships on the job. Absolutely necessary.
No.
Yes, it is.
All right. And finally, joining us on the couch, we'll have Dr. Bumi Olorunfemi. He is the CEO of BOF Agri-Foods Industries Limited, specializes in food processing, packaging, and other agribusiness activities. He will be on the couch with us, so make sure you actually sit back to know more about what he does. Action.
And good morning once again. Good morning, ladies. Good to have you back after a very, what must have been eventful weekend for the two of you.
Yeah.
Because it's all about celebrating women all weekend since Friday. I wasn't here on Friday. How was that show? Was good?
Oh, of course. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was such a breath of fresh air having you guys out of the studio.
Exactly. But in the end, we also, you know, had so many different conversations around International Women's Day.
Yeah.
How inclusive we need to be as a people all over the world. It's not even just a Nigeria thing now, but Nigeria is really taking it seriously. Every other company, every other, you know, bank, financial institution, they all had their own events. So it's something great to see.
And it was amazing.
And that wasn't enough. You guys had to go and do Mother's Day again yesterday.
We had the incoming CEO of TVC right here on the couch, and it was really insightful. And then from there, we proceeded to the Women's Network events. And it was really calming, I'll say, rather soothing. We had Happiness Center. They were there as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Happiness Center took us through a meditation session, breathing exercises,
so calming.
And I kid you not, I don't think I've ever seen the women of TVC so calm.
You guys had to
And
let
quiet.
down your hair for
And
real.
quiet. I was like, what is going on? But it was really, really great.
It was amazing.
The videos where, well, they told all the stories. And, congratulations to you guys, and of course to the ladies of TVC,
Big shout out
mothers,
to
all women, all of you.
Mother's Day.
You guys are beautiful people. Congratulations and yet another celebration. And please continue to do all that you can to make sure that we are also taken care of.
Well, hey.
Oh, let's also congratulate the president of the Women's Network, because we don't hear what again. The president of the Women's Network here at TVC, MM Chief MM Chief Jagaban MM Okoche.
So, you know, the amazing thing is, once you have a leader, and I'm going to say yes, she has been a great leader, especially ever since she took over as president of the Women's Network. This is not trying to toot her horn or anything. This is me actually genuinely saying she's put her back into it.
Yeah,
she's
into
put
it, definitely.
everything into making sure that the network is recognized all over, and she embodies it. And yeah, no matter what, when MM calls, you have to answer. You know, let's just put it that way.
Congratulations again, once again. And you're welcome. This is the news from Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mazino Appeal. Now, Muslims in Nigeria have joined their counterparts across the world for the commencement of Ramadan. That's today. This comes as the Sultan of Sokoto, Sa'ad Abubakar III, yesterday announced the sighting of the crescent of Ramadan, which signals the beginning of fasting. The Sultan made the announcement at the palace in Sokoto after receiving and verifying reports of moon sightings across the country. He appealed to Muslims to pray for God's intervention in the country.
The reports of positive moon sighting were received from Muslim leaders and organizations across the country, which we duly accepted. Consequently, tomorrow, Monday, the 11th day of March 2024, becomes the first day of Ramadan 1445 after the Hijrah. We therefore call on all Muslims in the country to commence fasting accordingly. We call on all Muslims to use the glorious month of Ramadan for extra prayers for our leaders in our country, Nigeria, and for more dedication to the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
The transmission company of Nigeria, TCN, has reported the vandalization of the Shiroro Katangpe 330 kV transmission line. This makes it the fifth the transmission line has been vandalized within February and March of this year. TCN also mentioned that their engineers attempted to restore operation in the area. We apologize, we're experiencing a bit of technical difficulties there. Do stay tuned, let's take a short break and then on with Wake Up Nigeria. You're welcome. This is, of course, What's Up and About.
It's Monday.
What's up? Yeah, that's what we're doing. Hi, ladies, once again. Now, we have a very interesting, let's say, topic today because we're going to be talking about Titi's husband.
Wow. Really? Why?
The Oscars, since that didn't land well.
You've been trying to make that joke
I've been
work
really trying to shoot
But
on
it didn't
that
work, though. It worked on the group. I won't even lie.
It worked on the WhatsApp
group.
It was funny, yeah? Thank you very much. It was funny. At least it was funny in text.
Well, we get it all the time.
It's the Oscars every day.
Maybe you should have said it the way you wrote it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yeah, well, that's why I will never work when it comes to stand-up.
If you're wondering what he's talking about the Academy Awards.
Yes, indeed.
And that is, it just ended a few hours ago, actually.
Yeah.
And it was
What
an
an affair.
opportunity for, of course, the best of Hollywood to come out in their usual glam, glitz and glam, and take home their trophies.
What was your, how did you see the list of winners? What did you think about this?
List of winners. So I know there's been a lot of inclusivity and all that stuff happening over the past few years.
Yeah, but this year?
This year, I think they sort of put that on the table. Yeah, well, on the back burner. And they just went straight for
art.
For the art, yes.
I like that.
And I don't think anyone's going to call them out for that because the actors that picked up those awards are really well deserving.
Let's talk about the awards. 7 awards. All of 7 awards went to Oppenheimer. What an affair for it was the Oppenheimer Oscars, let's put it so. They won so much. Let's see, Best Picture, Best Actor,
Best Supporting,
Best Supporting Actor.
There's so many, a long list.
Quite a lot.
Now, when it comes to movies like that, especially movies about true stories, essentially, well, it's a fictional story about something that actually happened. The person who invented the atomic bomb, that's the focus of the movie. And they kind of try to make it seem like we're living in an Oppenheimer world, post-atomic bomb world, which sort of changed everything in terms of warfare and the rules of the game across the world. So when you think about it, you have to depict that movie really well. If you don't get it right, you get it wrong.
Winfrey, what did you think about Oppenheimer Day?
I think it was, definitely it was well-deserved because, the execution of the movie itself was actually very detailed. Coming from his personal life to the work life, the relationship with other people, even the feuds here and there, subtle and otherwise. So I think, of course, it was definitely a movie that actually deserved as much attention as it got.
Right?
Congratulations, Cillian Murphy. Congratulations, Robert Downey Jr., whom I thought had an Oscar from before. I did not know that he hadn't gotten an Oscar since.
He's been nominated 3 times.
Such a good actor.
Yeah, nominated 3 times. But he had a lot of issues. Before.
Then they were,
he had, I think, was it substance abuse issues from back?
This, that, and everything.
And he was taken out of Hollywood. Iron Man didn't give him the Oscar he thought he was going to get. There was another role as well he thought he was going to get one for, but he didn't. But congratulations to him.
I wanted to talk about my next best movie for 2023, Killers of the Flower Moon. People have been slipping on that movie. I don't know why you haven't seen it. Maybe it's a bit too drawn out and long for people, but it's such a fantastic movie.
Okay.
And that one, what did that win again? Killers of the Flower Moon.
I'll find it.
I'm looking for it. Can't find it, but it's such a fantastic movie. Do help me look for it.
I will
it's
definitely
such a fantastic movie that I was like, I hope that they get an Oscar themselves, and
they did.
They did.
It's such a beautiful thing. I'm like, well, hey, this year's Oscars, the winners are what I thought that they would be.
Yeah.
So a lot of people had their eye out for Barbie, and there was this Oppenheimer versus Barbie thing going on for a long time.
Yes, because they were actually released about the same period.
Exactly.
Same time. So a lot of people, because I have a movie group, and then they actually do that thing, and they watch movies and then compare and contrast.
Yeah.
But
so Barbie was a strong contender, extremely strong, but Oppenheimer eventually came out on top. Once you take the Oscars, you take it. You've taken everything.
So that's best cinematography.
Yes.
Actually, that went to Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Again.
Best directing was Oppenheimer as well.
Best costume design was Poor Things. I have not seen Poor Things, so I'm not sure about that.
The amazing thing about Poor Things is the person that won. They won hairstyling, they won costuming and everything, and I was just so enamored by the winner of Best Actress. Now, Best Actress went to Emma Stone, and she has been so she started off with sort of comical girly movies and really evolved over the years, and she finally got that Oscar, not by looking extremely beautiful, but by taking on a role that was so out of sorts that you had to sit back and just wonder, hey, who is this person?
I think that's the idea, and that's when you appreciate the arts of like what they do and all of that. It's not about the pretty role. It's not about the most popular scenes and all of that. It's literally about the one that literally puts you in the game and takes you out of your normal comfort and takes you out there. And I think that definitely the movie she wanted
So I want to step away from the Oscars for a bit. And I realize how excited we always are when it comes to the Oscars or the which other American awards are there?
The Emmys.
The Emmys and all of that. We're always so excited. Are we this excited about our very own?
Why'd you have to do that?
What?
And I'm asking, when are we going to get to that place where we are this excited about it, where it's an international
when it comes
affair
to
because of our contributions to art worldwide?
I think the AMVCA is quite exciting.
Yeah.
Yes, I will say that compared to the music industry now.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, very
when you see our music guys, they're literally always looking for the international awards, international.
Yeah.
I was wondering, why are we not asking why didn't Nigeria? We didn't put any.
Did we submit?
No, I'm just
Perhaps
saying.
we didn't submit this year.
Perhaps, yeah,
you know.
and all of that. So the other years we've been trying to get in. So I guess this year we probably are deciding to focus on our own and literally making ours to literally be what it
would
is.
have
And
been-
it would definitely be a great thing because you never see any of them literally fighting or struggling to literally be a part of this, and that's what we need to start appreciating and celebrating.
I
Literally
think we
making
are getting
awards
there.
for ourselves.
I think we are getting there, but I think we needed things like AFRIF and the like to build our film industry internationally speaking on that scale first before we started thinking about things like the Oscars. I know that we have thrown some movies in there before. We even had some Nigerian actors that are on the panel of the Academy Awards.
Of course.
But the truth is, there are so many amazing movies out there all over the world talking about Asian movies, which have always been amazing. Look at what they're doing in Korea now. Look at, we're looking at the Korean movie industry now. We're looking at the Indian movie. Even the Australians are doing amazing.
Yeah.
So I watched a Russian show on a streaming platform and I was glued. And I was wondering, why haven't I tried Russian cinema before? Is it just a mental block against other countries like that?
Got some cute in.
Wow, really?
No, I think the world is now being more inclusive, right, of like other movies aside American movies. We really see the Asians actually taking a big step and stepping into that space, and then we can see what that is even doing for their actors, being involved in like Hollywood productions and things like that. So I think it's the same thing that will happen for us. I mean, we've seen, a few of us literally be featured in that, but then again, when it has to do with African stories, right? So I feel what the Western world is doing is they're trying to step into different cultures and then mix it up with whatever they have going on, which is actually an amazing thing. So I feel, to be honest, not too long away, we'll literally start seeing.
Look at the animated movie that just came out.
Iwaju.
Yeah,
Iwaju, voiced by Nigerians and produced in conjunction with Disney, a Nigerian company in conjunction with.
about that one.
So,
Yes.
what if that got a nomination? What if?
it just came out. Yeah, for next year. It's possible. There's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have to really think big and understand how large all those movies actually are. Like on the scale of Oppenheimer. It took them, I think, 2 years to produce that movie. So do we do?
So that's the thing. So that's another thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
The effort we put in here. But then again, we think about where Nigerian movies are coming from. We will say we've taken a great leap towards like advancements, right?
Yeah.
However, we're still lacking when it comes to certain things. But I feel with the likes of Funke Akindele's movie that literally came out and she had like a whole lot like. Accolades and attention.
Yeah.
I feel those are the kind of movies that will probably start getting us this kind of recognitions. Maybe, right? If it's because definitely a lot of us thought it was based on PR.
I will tell you something, however, while we are advancing when it comes to our movie making skills, if you're going to submit a movie to the Oscars from Africa, it has to be a certain quota of it must be in an indigenous
language, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
From all of last year, I think there's only one movie that I saw, and which was that was really big, and that was
Anikulapo or which one?
Anikulapo it was Yoruba, yeah.
Yeah.
There was also the other one.
How many movies?
Then Queen Amina.
Queen
I was expecting at least these would be submitted, but
So that's
it seemed like they were.
Yeah. So that's not the only criteria now. When you think about
There
that,
are others.
there are
There are
a whole lot of other criteria literally that
I was gonna say, when you think about it like this. Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible was nominated and didn't win.
Oh, no, but they're done. The franchise is done.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
How?
If someone's
How is
so
that
great.
supposed to-
No,
it's
I'm just
not-
saying he had the amazing sound
Tom Cruise
effects.
is great. Forget.
Sound effects.
I think it's the
visual effects, right? And even cinematography to a certain extent.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I thought it was all CGI.
Mission Impossible did an amazing job.
Did it?
Yes.
I
that was
wouldn't
a
know.
good
I've only
movie.
seen 1/10 of it.
Wow.
I couldn't
But
take
the issue is, if Tom Cruise
I'm
hasn't
not
won one,
surprised.
with all the efforts, with all the broken bones,
If Tom Cruise was winning, I wouldn't say
we have
for
a
Mission
way to go.
Impossible, to be very honest,
Yeah.
right?
Well, in any case, tell us what you think about the results from the Oscars, how far it came close to your expectations.
Yeah.
We would like to know. You want to use the hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC. And we'll see it, we'll read it, we'll perhaps maybe even have another conversation over it. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. It's a Monday here. And of course, we're here to help you through that. We'll be back. And you're welcome. It's time once again for Monday. Let's do the headlines on the dailies this morning. And with me, I have the delectable Winfrey. Are you wearing that jacket or is it wearing you?
Yeah, I'm wearing it. Like, is it on me or not?
That's how I'm going to end the show. I'm going to make sure my jacket's wearing me.
Yeah, and you bump up a little in fashion.
Oh. I don't know if that's a sub or if it's okay. No problem.
It's a compliment.
Let's do the papers this morning. Let's first off mention what we have. We've got the Guardian Nation, Daily Trust, and the Independent. So we start from the Guardian this morning, and first headline that meets the eye: estimators peg exchange rate at 1,400 naira per dollar as naira finds fair value.
Okay.
We should be happy about that. Coming from 1,800 naira, like we were hearing from 2 weeks ago, 1,400 naira is.
But then again, when you consider the fact that it came from 320.
Yeah, true. I know, yeah. So perhaps maybe we are on our way. But then you also must note that the dollar itself is not very strong
exactly.
as well.
So, yeah.
Because if you compare the naira to the pound currently, then you get the realization that we are still in the doldrums.
Yeah.
So, let's celebrate our little wins. The Guardian has the chart once again, naira value measurement from Goldman Sachs, liquidated entities, and many more. So you want to check out that chart there. Still on the Guardian to the side there, delays, uncertainties in student loan scheme compound woes. That's still on. And FG lawmakers false budget padding claims. Hariwa urges probe. And of course, security agency's mum on search for abducted Kurija school pupils as it continues. Now that was a big deal from Thursday/Friday last week.
Yeah.
There are claims that this had happened from way earlier in the week. And the disturbing fact is that these were a good number of people that were transported from one location to another undisturbed illegally. And nothing's come from that since regarding the search or whether they've been found or at least track them. So that's very worrying. And this is the first time I think this is happening in the northeast, if I'm not mistaken, as against where it was the northwest. Hopefully these pupils mostly, are found and...
So now this actually, I think on Friday, this actually came to my mind. I was literally driving and I got stopped by a number of uniformed men on the road, right, at several points. I think about 3 to 4 sets before I got to where I was going to. And it actually just made me think, okay, if we're having this much
police
interruptions, that's what I call them actually, on the road here, where, I mean, I know there's crime in Lagos, but then again, we talk about where unarmed, pupils are literally being abducted back and everything. Can't they just divert this attention to those areas? Because I hear,
you would think.
Anyways,
But if you have visited the north, you'd realize how big an expense it is and how difficult it is to actually police.
More reason why.
Last headline for the Guardian before we move on to your paper. SERAP asks NCC to restore blocked phone lines. Yeah, that's happened again. Disrupting businesses and communication, and people can't take that at this moment because it's causing even more suffering. Or we'll perhaps see an iteration in another daily. We'll take it then. What do you have?
Okay, so I have here with me The Nation, and I'll start with the major headlines there. We have presidency slams senator over budget padding claim. Audits report indicts NUPRC customs for non-remittance into Federation accounts. We have that on page 5. At the top of that, to the left, we have CBN screens banks financial reports for infractions, and we have that on page 5 as well. Foreign investors pump $823 million into forex market. We have that on page 15. Pro-Shaibu protesters seek ends to impeachment move. We have that on page 6. Sultan pronounces today as first day of Ramadan month. We have that on page 29. Under the strip there below the image, we have Disco explains blackouts in Kwara, Oyo, Ogun. 40,000 Ogun farmers get lifts. We have that on page 3 and 6 respectively. I think what catches my eye here, definitely the major headlines. We have presidency slam senators over budget padding. And I love to see things like this on the front of the dailies because it literally gives us insights of literally how things usually go and how presidency, is calling that out. It gives us a little bit of confidence when it, with things like this. And of course, the situation with the discos. You're explaining blackouts for Kwara or your Ogun. What of us?
You've got your
Where's
power.
the
It's in
water
your
bottle?
backyard.
Because I'm cooking these days and I'm
Because you
thinking...
can afford it. We move now to the Daily Trust, shall we?
It's
Daily
crazy.
Trust. Day one. Parents of abducted Kaduna students cry out for help. We watched bandits shepherd our kids to the bush. Escapees recount near-death experience. My brother shot dead trying to save his siblings. Very sad stories there, and some of the stories are pictures of the victims on that paper. Workers trapped as 5-story building collapses in Anambra. And all African Games, Nigeria female wrestlers scoop 6 gold medals. Congratulations to them. 59 doctors resign in Nasarawa alleged poor welfare. And of course, Yari's annual Ramadan feeding program benefits 2,000, or rather 250,000 households.
Yes, we have that.
At the top for the Daily Trust, 2 months after EFCC presidency silent on Better Edu, NSIPA boss. FG denies budget padding for Ningi's allegation, and Ramadan begins today, says the Sultan, as we saw from earlier. Final newspaper would be yours.
Yes, of course, and that's the Daily Independent. New CBN interest rates will put, real sector under pressure. We have that from analysts. And at the top left of the paper, we have Serap threatens NCC with lawsuits for blocking Nigerians' phone lines. Presidency denies claims of operating 2 versions of 2024 budgets. Okay. And below the image there, we have, to the left, security operatives kill 20 IPOB fighters in Imo gun battle, recover assorted weapons. We have that on page 7. Fire got Kanu electricity transmission station, markets in Yanagwa. We have that on page 6. We have there as well, governors adopt fresh strategies to end food crisis, economic hardship. At the top of that, to the left, we have vandals plunge FCT residents into darkness again. We have that on page 29. 2024 Ramadan fasting begins today. Anyauku eminent leaders of thought to convene national dialogue. We have that on page 6. And on the strip, abductions, it's time to act fast, as Rep Speaker on page 7. Yeah, so the line blockage, I think that is something serious because,
Yes,
I mean,
indeed, that is.
the networks have been very, very shameful.
Yeah, it has been, and then you
and
wonder
it's affecting
why,
everything.
if this is the time to even go on a process of blocking lines, but then the economic impact of that alone when you block people's lines. Like I had a very interesting instance with my barber, a new barber who I'd never used before, and I asked him for his number, and he said you can only reach me out on WhatsApp. And I asked what happened.
Why? Because
I'm like, okay, so does everybody know this? It's like, hey, they don't, and it's affected his business.
Yeah.
So imagine going through what Nigeria is going through as an individual, and then having your line blocked where you can't even, do normal transactions, even transactions.
That's what I'm saying. It affects everything.
So
I mean, from economic
maybe not the
to
best time.
communications
Maybe
and all
not
of
the best.
that.
And good to see that was actually reversed.
Yeah.
But then that's as much as we can take for the dailies this morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Do stay tuned because we have something happening inside of the kitchen. And it's a very interesting one because we have swallow and then we have rice. I don't know what exactly we're cooking today. I had a small conversation with the chef, and she was trying to explain to me what we're doing. It has all sorts of names and all sorts of ingredients. I'm excited to see where it's going to go. Titi, please intimate us with what is happening there inside of the kitchen.
Yeah, so this time if you want to get to, is it Calabar? Yes. It's Calabar. If you want to get to Calabar, you don't need to take a flight. You just need to come to the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. Why? Because Chef Debbie has something sweet in store for us today. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
You're taking us on a trip to Calabar today. What are we making?
Okay, we are making efere otong.
One more time?
Efere otong.
Okay, so I'm going to act like I can pronounce it and just allow you pronounce it every single time. But you need to tell us what this dish is about.
Okay, the efere otong means Calabar style okra soup.
Okay, why didn't you just say that one before now?
That's the Efok style
Okay,
okra soup.
okay, all right, okra soup.
Yes.
Now, I'm seeing 2 different, in fact, 3 different, what do they call them? What? What do you mean?
Sides.
Sides?
Like what you use to eat it.
Oh, so is it, wait, so the soup is the main meal, and then the others are the sides?
As just accompaniment.
Got you, accompaniment. Okay, now I get it, because I'm seeing rice here, I'm seeing yellow gari, I'm seeing yam.
Oh, water yam and cocoa yam.
All this in one dish. Wow. Okay. Now, how do we begin? Where do we start from?
We start by making the soup.
Okay. Let's go. Let's talk ingredients. Now, for the okra soup, obviously, you need okra.
Yes, you need okra.
Right? How are you cutting this okra?
You're going to, no, we'll have to dice it into smaller cubes and then pound it.
And then pound it.
Yes, you have to pound.
Fantastic. Now we have here
Stockfish.
Stockfish.
And that's dry river catfish.
Dry river catfish.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Very, very dry there. Now we have rice, parboiled, I believe.
No, that's washed rice.
Washed? It's not
parboiled it,
no, it looks so white. Wow.
It's washed. You have to wash it to the point where you can't find starch in it.
Wow, interesting. It's been washed so well that it's already white. Okay, now we have protein in there. What sort of protein is in there?
Okay, we have beef and cowhide, which is pomo.
Pomo. Okay, cowhide and beef. Parboiled there?
No, not parboiled. That's already marinated.
Marinated.
With,
okay.
Fresh pounded Scotch bonnet pepper.
Okay.
Salt and seasoning cube.
Fantastic. We have yellow gari here.
Yes, this is what we use to make the swallow.
Swallow. And we have more?
The pounded Scotch bonnet. This is seasoning cube. This is native palm oil. Salt, pounded crayfish. And this is the main ingredient, otong itself.
This is otong?
Yes, this is made from burnt, dry, burnt plantain peel.
Wow.
And then blended. So what I'll do here is just add water and then sieve out the water itself. I'll allow it to settle for a while and then sieve the water out, which is what I'll use in making the soup.
So one more time, this is dried,
burnt, blended plantain peel.
Wow, the skin of plantain has a use. I didn't know, apart from compost, obviously. So this is what it looks like. The otong, this is what it looks like. I hope I pronounced it well.
Yes, otong.
It looks a little like charcoal.
No.
Okay,
that's because it's burnt.
Yeah, it looks gray, like charcoal color, but I don't have any specific aroma to it yet. Maybe because it's not been mixed with water, maybe because it's not on the heat.
No, and that's because it's plantain peel and it's burnt.
All right, okay. I'm going to be watching attentively, and you should be too. Hopefully, you've seen some of these ingredients at home already, and maybe you wondered why your mom had it in the kitchen. You don't know why she had it, and this is how she's gonna prepare it. So we have
so this is cocoyam and water yam. Okay. I'll have to grate it with
a grater.
A grater.
Yeah.
And then I'll add salt to the mixture and then wrap it with moi moi leaves. We call it, yes.
Okay.
It's either you use moi moi leaves or you use plantain leaves.
Okay, fantastic. So now there's a lot to do. We have to get to it. While you figure out whether you have all these ingredients or not, maybe you should try. Use our hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC, and let's see what you're up to in your kitchen. We are going to take a quick break, but Chef Debbie and I are going to get to work right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
And you're welcome back. We have a very special guest here with us in the studio, Alice Dina, an Irish citizen who has been living and working here in Nigeria for the past 18 years. It's long enough for her to be Nigerian already. I mean, she is the chair, Friends of Ireland. St. Patrick's Day, also, I must tell you, is a national holiday for Ireland. And to commemorate this year, the Friends of Ireland will be sending a small decorated, tricycle or keke around Lagos. We'll tell you all about this. Let's talk to Dina. You are welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you so much for
18 years.
18 years.
You are Nigerian, aren't you?
I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean...
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that I'm both.
Wow. Granted that you actually enjoy Nigeria. I mean, what can I say? But Friends of Ireland, you are in contact with Nigerians in the diaspora, and you guys are also trying to establish something here in Nigeria. And I'm asking myself, to what end? Why? Why is it important?
Okay. So Friends of Ireland is it's an organization that was set up here in September 2023. And it was very much prompted and supported by the Irish ambassador, His Excellency Peter Ryan. He's actually been involved with this in other countries as well, including New Zealand and America. And Friends of Ireland aims to establish an Irish presence, a vibrant Irish presence here in Nigeria by reaching out to the Nigerian diaspora in Ireland, by reaching out to the Irish diaspora here, by reaching the new Irish community, because it's no longer a case of Irish missionaries coming to Nigeria to spread Catholicism, because St. Patrick is also the patron saint of Nigeria, which happened in kind of 1961 when they opened the Irish embassy here. And the Irish bishops who were here suggested it, and it was accepted by the Nigerian church here.
So to what end, however, is this relationship going to go? I mean, to whose advantage?
So it's kind of already working to everybody's advantage. So far, there has been a poetry competition where W.B. Yeats's poetry was responded to by Nigerian students, and they wrote poetry in response to it, and the winners were published in a book. And Eduka Gomez, who was also a trustee of Friends of Ireland, was very involved with that. An Irish storyteller was here only a couple of weeks ago. His name was Neil de Burka, and he came here to be part of the Lagos Theatre Festival. And got involved with that. So the sharing of his skills with Nigerian actors and actresses here. In addition to that, Minister Charlie McConalogue came back in September and launched the Friends of Ireland with an idea of the two countries doing commerce together. So you have groups like Enterprise Ireland and Board Bia who do a lot of business here, because some of the biggest companies, pharma and fintech, are actually Irish here and supply software to the biggest banks and everything here.
Well, let's talk about agriculture and that relationship, Ireland versus Nigeria. Do we have similarities there at all, apart from the fact that we share something like a common history in terms of colonization and all of that? When it comes to agriculture and what might be done, the potentials that are therein?
I think there's great potential in it, but it's not really my field of expertise. But I do think that that Nigeria has great potential, and it does really well here because of the innovative approach to everything. So I think there's great scope for more joint activity.
Collaboration.
There. Yes.
Now, the population that you spoke about, there's two different populations. There's an Irish population that you mentioned here, and like you have been here for 18 years. What about the Nigerian population in Ireland? What is it like? Because we don't get to see or hear much about that. I only know of one blogger who's in Ireland. He's a young chap. His family is over there, and that's all. I don't know any other Nigerian families
There's
in
actually
Ireland.
a lot of Nigerians in Ireland.
Why did they go there in the first place?
It began, I think it probably began about 25, 30 years ago. So before that, it was very selective. It would have been for, universities, top-end universities and things like that. But I think that Nigerians and Irish people have a lot of similarities, and we get along very well. And our culture is very family orientated and community orientated. And so you can drop into somebody's home, you're welcomed with a cup of tea or a biscuit or whatever. And so it's quite similar in that way. And so I think that Nigerians have enjoyed that hospitality that has been extended to people who arrive in the country. And Ireland has benefited hugely from becoming a lot more diverse, because if you looked at Ireland 30 years ago, it was very homogenous within its society. Yeah.
Wow. So what are the good facts or factors that the Nigerian population there brings to Ireland then?
So, well, they bring, obviously, music.
You like our music?
Yes, they do.
Who's the best Nigerian artist? Go on, tell us.
I don't know. My daughter would say Rema.
So, there we go. Lost another one to Rema. Okay.
So
there's music?
Yeah, there's music. And then there's an African festival that's on every year as well. They contribute to all of that.
Nice.
There are Nigerian shops. There's a whole area in Dublin that's...
And of course, you like our food as well.
Yes.
Not too spicy, is it?
It's not. Well, after 18 years, you get used to it.
She's Nigerian, by the way. Sorry, forgot. So you guys have something very special happening from Wednesday up until Friday. It's a tricycle, what we call keke.
Yes.
Here in Nigeria. And it's decorated. You guys are going to be riding it across Lagos to bring awareness to this endeavor.
Yeah, we are.
But there's something else to it. Well, what must people look out for with this tricycle?
Okay, so there is a little green keke Marawa tricycle that's going around, and it says St. Patrick's Day in Lasgidi. And if you see it, we'd like you to tag Friends of Ireland NG on Instagram And
that's Friends of Ireland NG.
yes.
Tag that on Instagram, Friends of Ireland NG. Go on.
And if you do that, we can get in touch with you and give you a T-shirt, which is St. Patrick's Day in Lascity with the bridge and a little flag.
Fantastic. That's beautiful.
And we can post you on our own Instagram page, which
Grand.
would be
Yes.
fantastic.
Would love that. Would love that.
Yeah.
We're all online. That's grand. Is there any culmination of the event or anything happening after that?
So mostly the event is located on the 17th of March in Abuja, because that's where the embassy
It's my birthday.
but we actually it's your birthday?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Are you going to fly me to
My niece
Abuja
as well.
as a gift or something?
But
Your niece.
yes.
Beautiful. We're mates.
And but it's also on Friday. We're very lucky because we have the Minister for International Development and Diaspora, Sean Fleming, is coming to Lagos.
Nice.
And he will be here to celebrate with us on Friday. And then we'll be back in Abuja on Sunday.
Fantastic.
Celebrate
That's
there.
beautiful. It's great to see cultures mix and then plenty of things come from out of that one. And I can't tell you how much of a beautiful thing this would be. Because I mean, Nigerians, we're welcoming people.
Absolutely.
Of course, you guys are too. I mean, what better than two welcoming cultures? Let's see what's going to come off of that.
Absolutely.
It's grand having you here, and I'm looking forward to that, the process, the entire event, and everything. I'm sure it's going to be good. Any last word you'd like our audience to hear or know?
I would just like anybody who has links with Ireland and who is interested in getting involved to please get in touch with us. We have a website, friendsofIreland.ng. So, because it would be lovely to know of other people. There's an amazing woman called Ola Majekodemi.
Yeah.
And she has been quite a force in Ireland. She's an Irish speaker, much better than I am. And she's involved with the media, but also the Irish Board for Speaking in Irish, yeah.
Thank you very much once again, Nina. Good to have you here. And we're looking forward to the event and everything that follows.
Thank you so much.
Now, back inside of the kitchen to this very interesting breakfast we're going to be having, which I'm still quite confused about. I think perhaps maybe only at the end will I get to see exactly what it is. Titi, please, how far have we gone already?
Now, Chef Debbie has been hard at work making sure everything is prepared. And we're making, you have to say it for me. Say it.
Efere otong.
Efere otong. And it's a Calabar version of okra soup that has many different obstacles to it. If you missed it earlier, the ingredients are really interesting. There's okra here, there's stockfish, there's crayfish. Now this is cocoyam.
Cocoyam and water yam.
And water yam mixed.
Yes.
Now it has a very interesting texture once you grate it.
Yes, I added a little water and salt.
Okay, water and salt.
Yes.
And it sort of draws.
Yes, it
right?
does.
It draws.
It does.
I was surprised to see it was drawing when you were done with that. Now you also have beef and pomo there.
Yes,
what sort of vegetable is this?
That's a mixture of fluted pumpkin and hot leaf. We call it
Hot leaf.
uziza or etinkeni in my language.
Uziza, okay. Say it again. Utinkeni.
Hot leaf or etinkeni in my
Okay.
language.
Fabulous. Now you washed and
Yes, I
sliced
sliced them to be
Okay.
very big. They are not supposed to be small. We're supposed to be seeing them in the soup.
What do we have on the heat? already?
Okay, we have rice.
Okay, we have rice on the heat. Let's leave that open for a second. Okay, go ahead. What
Okay,
else do we have?
and this is the ayanek pan.
Okay, that's pumpkin.
Yes, I was able to grate it, wrap it,
Okay.
and then cook
All right, which is this,
it. Yes.
right? So the cocoyam and the water yam
Yes.
grated and wrapped in pumpkin leaves or
Yes,
banana leaves.
banana leaves.
And you're steaming that now.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now, are we using this for anything
Yes, I'm
too?
using this for the soup.
For the soup.
Yes.
Well, are we going to get to the soup anytime soon? I don't know. I'm looking at this stockfish.
No.
I'm wondering if it's going to take a long time to get
Okay,
soft.
when you are making some soups, you
Yeah.
have to go for some the stockfish that is not hard.
Okay, okay.
That's where you save time. And
All right, fantastic. So what are we doing right now?
okay, we are going to proceed to making the soup.
All right,
First
go
of
ahead.
all, boil this.
All right. So this meat, go ahead, please. This meat was marinated with some Scotch bonnet pepper, You also added
salt and
seasoning. Beautiful. How long was it marinated for?
Overnight. And then it was put in the freezer.
All right, fantastic. Beautiful. So that's going to stay on the heat. Are you adding water to that?
No, I'll allow it to cook in its own juice for the next 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Before proceeding to add water.
Fabulous.
So while it's steaming, I would
You start working.
debone the fish and then the stockfish.
All right. So now this stockfish we're talking about here, it's very common to find in the market. But is there any specific thing you look out for when you want to buy your fish?
Well, sometimes I make sure I ask for akpama.
Okay.
Because that's one of the best species of stockfish you get to find in the market.
Okay, okay.
And then sometimes I go for the head, like you've seen here. And sometimes I go for the cutlets because they have more taste than the other parts.
So I've heard this before. You buy the stockfish head because there's more flavor in it.
Yes.
That's interesting. A lot of people don't eat fish head normally, but for stockfish, you go for the head.
Because it's fleshy. The stockfish head is fleshy.
All right, fantastic. So deboning this dried fish now is so it's catfish. So meaning that the head itself here is quite heavy and bony. Are we cooking all of it together or just the fleshy parts? I can see the head here on the side. What do we have?
I'm going to be discarding this.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so there are some that you have to just pay attention to. She's taking away the catfish head, but the stockfish head is gonna go straight into the pot. Let's take a quick break, everyone. Let's do what we can to try our own version of this at home and post it online. Use our hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC. Would love to see what you're up to in the kitchen. All right, then. Thank you so much, Chef Debbie. We're taking a quick break. There's still more coming your way on Wake Up Nigeria.
And right now, it's Monday, of course, and you know on Mondays we have to motivate you. And today, for motivation, we have joining us again for the second time, Damilola Ogunremi. Welcome back to Wake Up Nigeria.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today? You seem very at home, right? Very relaxed.
I have to do that before you tell me you're going to bite me over.
Amazing. Okay, it's definitely amazing having you back.
Yes.
And now today we're having a very important conversation,
Yes.
right? Building better relationships
On the job.
on the job. Okay, first of all, I ask you, is that necessary?
Hey. Okay, let me
I just said I should ask. Somebody said I should ask.
Okay. Let me tell you, building
Yeah.
better relationships is essential for success in the workplace.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
explain.
A workplace with strong relationships will produce more productivity, to enjoy more productivity. The place is enjoyable to work. And ultimately, there will be more success in such a place.
Okay,
Yeah,
you say so. Now you say relationships.
No.
Some people are thinking of another thing now.
No, I'm going to break it down.
Yes.
I'm going to break it down.
Okay, break it down.
See,
What type of relationships are you talking
okay,
about?
so, wait, okay, just let me say. Okay, let me say it this way. Of course, maybe on the show, one of those days, we'll talk about how to manage romantic relationship on the job as well.
Should we be having a romantic relationship on the job?
That's what, but it happens.
Okay.
You know that. Okay, so back to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
There's a relationship you will have.
Yeah.
But the relationship you have with your team lead will affect the relationship you have.
So we're talking about professional relationships.
Professional relationships,
now.
yes.
Okay.
The relationship, there are 4 cardinal relationships you will have on the job.
Okay.
Or 3 or so. The relationship you have with your direct team lead will affect the relationship you have with the top management. Then the relationship you have with your colleagues also will affect the relationship you have with your team lead. Then the relationship you have with people you don't consider important, the domestic staff. It's essential.
Okay.
Let me quickly tell you a story.
Yes. Okay.
I was a big pharmaceutical companies many years ago. They want to send one of their employees outside the country to represent them. And do you know whom they met rather, to conduct the interview, to find out about this particular employee? It was the domestic staff that called together. And you know what happened? She didn't get that opportunity.
Oh, wow.
So relationships with everyone on the job is essential for your own success. I mean, not just the success of the whole company or for your own success as well.
Okay, so let's start with you gave us 3 cardinal relationships, right?
Yes.
Let's start from your supervisor,
Yes.
management,
Yes.
and you. So how do you
Okay,
cultivate
let me just say, generally,
Yeah.
business etiquette suggests that you greet everyone on job. Hi, good morning. You don't say, oh, because we don't work in the same department, I don't greet you when I see you. Hi, good morning, then you smile. Beyond that, you need positive attitude on the job.
Okay.
And that includes supporting others,
Okay.
which involves your direct team lead, being trustworthy, being reliable, being friendly. Some people think that this friendliness is just about saying, hi, good morning, and it ends there. No.
Okay.
Friendliness on the job involves being teachable, being approachable. Some people keep a very tough and haggard demeanor. You can approach them. In fact, when they greet you, you're afraid to answer. You don't know what's in their mind. So it's funny, but it's actually happening.
Yeah, it's a thing. It happens.
I visited a friend one day, and he wanted to call a colleague of his. He actually has an assignment for her, and he was afraid. I'm like, what's the problem? He said, you see, this woman got to my company she's been there for 40 years, and she has never left her position. He said that he met her in that company. What's the problem? The problem is that she's not approachable. She's not friendly. In fact, the reason why she's still in that establishment is because the CEO is all these soft-hearted people. I said, why? He said, oh, the man, she has problems. She's the one taking responsibility for her family, sending her children to school. That's the reason why she's on the job.
Okay, so I have this question for you, right? So now there are several scenarios, right, in different offices,
Yes.
right? Some people, especially in Nigeria,
Yeah.
we like we like to be sociable.
Yes.
You understand? And then now I've had this conversation with a number of people. Okay, should we prioritize fostering relationships, right, to actually being productive on the job? I'm going to say this. I'm going to accentuate, right? Some people say, okay, fine. There are people that come to work, get their job done, and literally leave. Fine, they're okay with everybody, but they don't necessarily go further to literally find out maybe like the littlest details and all of that. Do you understand? They don't bring personnel to work, right? And there are other people that literally will spend time going to visit your boss, sitting in the office, gisting about, do you understand? And then, so certain bosses like it several ways. So which would you advise?
See, one is dangerous and the other is professional. But you need to use your discretion. See, you don't confuse professional relationship with personal relationship on the job. Like you said, spilling personal details. In fact, as a professional, you should keep that out of your office relationship. And there have been scenario where you tell a colleague something about you, or even the top management or a CEO or your team lead, and they go back to spill it.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you lose your job. So you need to be mindful. The thing is that even if you take your relationship on the job beyond that professional cadre, you need to use your discretion.
Discretion to know
the person. Who is this person? I spoke about trust earlier on. You need to be trustworthy. You need trust trust is key foundation in building any relationship. You must deliver on your promise. You must be committed to what you say you will do on the job, to your colleagues, you understand me? And when they tell you some certain sensitive things, you don't spill it. Communication is another thing that you must have. Communication is not just speaking eloquently. No. You need to have, your communication must be clean. Like you keep gossip out of it.
So what you're basically trying to say, if I can get you correctly, is that even despite the fact that you're trying to foster a positive relationship at work, it still should not be personal.
No,
right? So now let's branch into the relationship between colleagues.
So, and sometimes it could, but be careful.
Be careful.
Until you know, see, I used to say something. Give people based on what they invest in your bank of trust. Don't just plunge into a person and you lose yourself. The word is losing yourself. You befriend a colleague on the job and then you just lose yourself. You tell them everything. The one they ask and the one they not ask you. Yes. Yeah. So you need to be careful. Even when you want to branch out of professional relationship on the job.
Yeah, because I was actually going to ask this question now. Friendships And
Because it happens on the
yeah,
job.
it actually happens
Yes.
because some people can draw the line. Say, okay,
Yes.
fine, I'm working with you, you're my colleague.
Yes.
Some people say, okay, fine, since we interact and see. So a lot of people have this notion, okay, fine, you spend more time at work than you spend at home.
Yes.
So it will be more reasonable to form friendships at
Yes.
the office. Now, what do you have to say about that as well?
As I've said,
Yeah.
you need to be careful. Give to people based on the trust they invest in your bank of trust. Don't just, engage with people in terms of relationship and you lose yourself immediately. You know, there's sometimes you even have people tell you personal things about them just to get things from you. Who is this your friend? Who is this your colleague? That's a friend on the job. You need to get to know them first, build trust. Once trust is established, then you can build, you can rely on them. And that's why I say some of the keys to, excuse me, please.
Sorry.
Excuse me. Some of the keys to building a strong relationship on the job, being trustworthy, respect. You know, if you respect me, I won't tell you things and you spill it. When you promise to do something for me, as in, okay, I spoke last week about working together. When you promise, you would deliver, you help me to deliver on so project, you would do it for me without disappointing me. So all these things are very important to build. So basically, to build strong relationship on the job, trust, have solid communication, be supportive, be respectful.
Yeah.
Treat people the way you want to be treated.
treated,
Don't leave anyone out, whether your direct colleague, people in other departments, the domestic staff.
Very important.
Very important. Because you don't know what we actually,
Yes.
when they will come handy
Yes,
to promote you on the job.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll continue conversations next week.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here.
I'm
we have to
glad
go on a
for it.
quick break right now, and when we come back, still so much happening right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Stay with us.
And you're welcome back. Dr. Bumi Olorunfemi, CEO of BOF Agri-Foods Industries Limited, specializes in food processing, packaging, and also other agri-business activities. He's been here before, and we talked so much at that time. Now he joins us again to talk about his efforts since then. It was a year ago. You are welcome, sir. Good to have you here.
Thank you, sir.
Great. You were here on our SME segment a year ago, and we talked so much about your food business, your food processing business. We talked about how you have managed to get a small company going all the way from Ekiti and how you're helping people here get access to good, was it Gary at the time?
Yes, at the time, yes.
And, and all of that. Let's talk about that. There's so much I want us to talk about that's happened in the past 1 year and your business. As a sample to anybody who might want to be going into the food business, what they should take note of, the things that have changed, the things that have remained the same, and everything affecting that sector currently. So first off, let's tell you what the good doctor is into. You are into food processing. You do Gary and I think Ilubo, if I'm not mistaken. Can you run us through some of the products that you process at your BOF Foods?
Yes. Thank you very much for the opportunity. We started with Gary as our first product, and we then developed since then, over a year or two ago now, to include different varieties of Gary. Yellow Gary, and then we also have vitamin A Gary, which is Gary cassava fortified with vitamin A. It comes out as yellow naturally, and we also now produce what we call odorless fufu. It's this fufu flour, and is the traditional fufu has a bit of strong
very
flavor, pungent, but this one does not have that.
Does it change the taste?
The taste is the same.
Same taste. Okay.
It's just the processing that is different, and the flavor in terms of the odor is a bit. It's not as strong as the other one. So it's called odorless fufu.
So that's your range of products.
We have unripe plantain flour as well. We also have yam flour as well. So we have lafun.
In the past 1 year, have you added more to that range?
That's the one we've done, yes. We started with Gary, just Gary.
Yeah, we actually have a sample of that Gary here, which is the Ekiti Gary. It's right here with me. He brought, Dr. Olorunfemi brought some of that here today. You've got that in this size, which is available.
2 kilograms, yes.
2 kilogram, and also there is is that 4? Oh wow, that's a big one.
That's a 5 kilogram.
5 kilogram one, which is doing well in the market, yes?
It is doing well, yes.
Fantastic. But as an individual who is into the processing business, A lot has happened in the past 1 year that's changed the climate of businesses generally. We've had fuel prices go up, and I would like to imagine that you use fuel in your processing activities or the process itself. And then there's also the talk of forex and perhaps maybe exports on your side. But let's talk about how these have affected production, how it has affected processing of foods. What have you experienced and what should people know?
Yes, I mean, in addition to the fuel, to the forex, we also have the security issues as well with the locality.
Let's take it one by one. How has the fuel increase affected production and also pricing of your goods?
Yes, I mean, about this time last year or thereabout, diesel, our major fuel is diesel, so which we use to process our generators, our machineries, operate them. Diesel was about 600 naira per liter, thereabout, but now it's about 1,003 at the local level there. So it's practically tripled or doubled. So that also has, and we use quite a lot of it. What we run on diesel, basically.
How's that affected the price?
So, of course, because the cost of production has jumped up. So, but that's not the only factor in the cost of production.
Let's talk about the other factors.
The other factors is the cost of the cassava. The cost of, those are the two major factors, the cost of the cassava. And the forex, also, we have fed the cost of diesel, which is one of the reasons. So that's where the forex a bit comes in. And the cost of the cassava has gone up. I mean, about this time last year, a ton of cassava was about 45,000 naira, but currently it's about 120,000.
Wow.
From 45,000 last year to 120,000.
Big leap.
120,000 naira per ton now. So you can.
The source of this cassava is from the farmers, isn't it?
From the farmers there.
What's affecting that price?
Yes. Part of what is affecting that price, majorly, is about security on the farm.
Now that's where security.
The farmers don't feel secure on the farm. They even after where they are there, they can be attacked by terrorists, bandits, kidnapped, some killed, and so we have a lot of that going on. So they are actually afraid to go to the farm, and even when the products are ready, then to harvest it becomes an issue because they're just too afraid to go to the farm.
Wow.
So that's pushing the.
It paints a very scary scenario, but yet, like any true business person will tell you, in any of these instances, you can still find opportunities. First of all, how are you managing around these different issues that are affecting your production? Because you're still in business, prices have gone up. How are they managing? The farmers you're getting these you're sourcing from, and everything else?
Yes, I mean, we have a group of farmers that we support financially. So they will still risk it to go to the farm to bring it. But for example, if I can give you, in February, the whole of February, we did not get a single ton of cassava.
Wow.
We couldn't get.
Wow.
Yeah. Even at that 120,000 rate, we just couldn't get. So we were just marketing what we already produced. So it's just March now that we started getting supplies again at that high rate. So, and I think because, you had one of our kings, Kabiyesi, was the last one of her son, Ekiti, was murdered by bandits, kidnappers or whatever, recently. That is that community. So that, in fact, is one of our biggest supporters in terms of our royal father.
It's a very grim reminder of how close to home all of these things that happen is. Because we never consider it. If you hear about kidnappings in Ekiti, there were the kids that were kidnapped, the murder of the king and all, but we don't know how it actually affects us in our homes. What we eat, the daily gari that we soak, actually has an effect on that. And it's a very sad situation. If you could call on any specific authority or body to come to assistance, who would it be? Because this is you telling now, as somebody who's specifically directly affected, you know what's happening. So which body, which authority would you call on to assist the situation, especially in that community in Ekiti, where most of you source most of your products from?
I will call on one multi-layer, really. I will call on the federal government to allow more policemen to be in the community, and then to allow the local vigilantes to operate freely.
Local vigilantes now.
And because each community has its own local security network. Well, I employ a security man in my factory, but they're not getting a lot of support from the government because they're not allowed to operate freely.
Yeah.
There
are restrictions.
Yeah, the restrictions were not always there, But even now that there's heightened insecurity, the local vigilantes and local hunters should be allowed to operate in their full capacity to help and support the local community. And then we need more policemen in that community and all communities in Ekiti State.
So definitely you have been affected. Your profit margin, it shrunk or is it still the same? Also to go with that, the price of the products, by how much have they risen since all of these things?
What we've done, because for example, the cost of cassava has gone up threefold, from 45 to 120,000. So, but we cannot increase the cost because people will not be able to afford it.
So you're operating at a loss.
What we did is that the current inflation rate is about 30 government rate. So we just marked up our prices to meet that, and then it reduced our profitability.
At what percentage?
We're just about 30%.
About 30%.
That's what we've increased the cost by. But that means that our profit margin is shrunk.
Okay.
But the minimum wage has not increased.
It hasn't
yet.
So
the product, we still need to sell the product.
Yeah.
So it's a very challenging economic.
Do you think that if we had more people doing what you do, processing, that it'll make the situation better? Should there be a call for people to actually still come into this industry?
Definitely, because one, it will provide more employment opportunities, jobs. Because, for example, within our factory, we have about 10 permanent staffs. That's with us, and then we have all these outsourcing farmers that work for us as well. We have casual laborers that come in to help peeling, to help washing.
Providing employment.
So we do is, and then if you have a capacity, industrial capacity, processing of goods like that, then that means the farmers can increase their output.
Yeah.
So the farmer that is cultivating 1 hectare can increase it to 10 hectares because he knows that there's a factory that will take it from him.
Well, Dr. Lauren Femi, it's grand that you're here and giving us these details because it only just brings us closer to the actual events that are happening that bring food to our tables. And it's good that we know. It's also good that anybody who perhaps wants to go into this kind of business are aware of the challenges that they would face and know how to go in with it, with everything that they've got so that they don't start and then stop somewhere. It's great that we had you back again on today's show. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing more of your BOF Agri-Foods products on shelves, and hopefully the price wouldn't be too expensive for people, the common man like myself, to be able to buy, soak, and drink.
Yes.
Well, we're not going to let you go like last time. Again, we're going to bring you over to the kitchen because we have a very special delicacy cooked by our chef here. And today we'll be pronouncing the name of this dish once again because I can't tell what it is.
Okay.
So let's take you over to the kitchen.
All right, thank you.
Now, Chef Debbie has been hard at work giving us 3 different alternatives to eat with this Efik-style okra soup called
Eferotong.
Eferotong.
I got it.
Now, we would love for you to taste it, but you have an option of three options rather. This is cocoyam and water yam, steamed with a little bit of salt in pumpkin leaves. Then you also have rice or yellow gari. Which one?
Yeah, so which would you like best?
Cocoyam and the water yam.
All right,
Okay.
great
I've
choice.
Never tasted it before,
tasted this
so
before.
I like adventures.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then, of course, we have the okra itself. All right. So,
what I'm going to ask, first of all, I've recalibrated my suit. Is I thought you were going to go for the Gary because you're actually a Gary person.
Yes, I am.
Well, you're just tired of Gary.
He's had a lot of Gary.
The thing is,
Yeah.
he's eating lots of Gary, so you have to test or try something.
So we won't let you taste it on live.
Yes.
Let's just save that for after.
Yes.
But tell you what, we are individually all going to do this behind the scenes and
Yes.
tell you the difference. So we're going to get that on our behind the scenes. So you can see this on our Wake Up Nigeria page on Instagram, so that we get a good, definite. So that would be it for today here on the show.
Yes, indeed.
And of course, hey, Chef, Eferotong, yeah?
Thank you.
Eferotong.
Well done.
Yay. Thank you very much.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks to everyone for joining us, and of course, thanks to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.